Hi, I'm Deb, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Yoga Bites for Deb. Today we have just a little slow flow practice, something that might be good to do maybe when you come home from work, just to stretch out some tension that might have built up in your body. But you could do this practice any time of day, really. So I hope you'll join me at the top of your mat in Mountain Pose. Come to the top of your mat in Mountain Pose, feet about hip distance apart. Inhale, spiral your arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, bellies in, dive forward, maybe wrap the hands behind your legs. Hands onto your shins, flat back. Inhale, peek forward. Exhale, bow down. Bend your knees, roll the spine all the way up. Inhale. Bring your palms together at your heart. One more time, inhaling up. Belly is in, dive forward. Hands on your shins, lengthen. Exhale, bow forward. Bend the knees, roll the spine up. Inhale. Palms to the heart, exhale. Inhaling up. Belly's in, dive forward. Hands to the shins, lengthen. Plant those hands down and just step carefully back onto hands and knees, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Exhale, push the ground away to your cats. Inhale to your cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Inhale to cow. Belly is in. Curl the toes under, knees up. Push back. Downward facing dog. Now let's pedal out our dog. Bend one knee, straighten the other heel. Maybe it touches the mat, maybe it doesn't. And just slowly switching from side to side. So not too fast. You want to experience what's going on in your body. Checking in with the calves, the heels. And then from here, we're going to bend both knees. Belly is in. Wave forward into our plank. Come down onto the knees. Uncurl the toes. And slowly lower down onto your belly. Stretch those legs back, press the feet into the mat, bring the hands down by your sides, belly is in, locust pose. Inhale, lift the chest, reach the fingertips down the body, and then float the legs up as well. Release all the way down. Bring your hands beside the shoulders so they hover over the mat. Shoulders are away from the ears. Belly is drawn in. We're going to press the tops of the feet into the mat. Press the pubic bone into the mat. And baby cobra. Just lift the chest up. And then from here, we're going to release down. We're going to bend the right knee. Reach back and just grab for the foot. Gentle stretch of the of the thigh. And then release, switch sides. And then release, bending both knees, flexing the feet, clasp the hands into the low back, squeeze the shoulder blades, draw that belly in, lift the chest up, reach the arms down the body, float the knees away from the mat. So a variation on our bow pose. Release down. Press yourself back, child's pose. Coming up onto our hands and knees, we're going to take our right leg, extend it out, bend the knee, and then bring a big circle into those hips, circle those knees. Sorry, circle the leg, and then swing this leg all the way forward into our lizard lunge. So walk this foot as far forward as you can so that your knee doesn't go past the toes. And we're going to stay up onto our hands. We're just going to sink our hips down. So knees and toes in the same direction. And we're just sinking, opening a little into the hips. The front of the hip on the left side, the outer hip on the right side. Maybe you can bend your elbows a little bit, get a little lower. And really just focus on the breath. And then belly's in, straighten the arms, bring that right leg back to hands and knees, and then a big circle with the left leg. Belly's always gently drawn in, giving us support. And then we're just going to swing that last leg all the way forward into our little lizard lunge on this side. So sink your hips, knees and toes in the same direction. Try hugging the knee towards your body. And then if you're able to, bend your elbows maybe a little bit, get a little lower. And then we're going to press, take that leg all the way back, coming back into downward facing dog. So again, your knees could be slightly bent, deeply bent, or straight. As long as your spine is lengthened, hug those elbows in, draw that belly in. Let's lift the right leg up into a three-legged dog. Just lift it up, bend the knee, and lift the knee up. And then lower that leg down. Draw that belly in, left leg lifts up, bend the knee, turn the knee up towards the ceiling. Try to stack your hips one on top of the other, square your shoulders off. Breathing deeply. And then lower down, come back to downward facing dog. And then we're going to step or walk to the top of our mat, to our forward fold, and we'll just come into more of a rag doll. So we're going to take our feet hip distance apart, bend the knees, lay your chest onto your thighs, fold the arms, let them dangle, let your head dangle. So we work to tilt the tailbone up, but we want to keep our chest and thighs connected, and you might just sway a little if that feels good. And then we're going to release. We're going to heel toe our feet about as wide as the mat, toes pointing out to the side so we can sink down into a squat. Coming into a squat, I'll just turn so you can see me. We'll bring our palms together, elbows on the inside of your legs to just help press the legs open, lengthen the spine. Staying connected with our breath. And then slowly, let's come down to have a seat. And we're going to open our legs up nice and wide. And we're going to come into a wide-legged seated forward fold. So flexing the feet, you want to maybe wiggle around so you can lengthen the spine, sitting up nice and tall. Taking the hands behind you to help remind you to lengthen that spine. So lengthen up, tilting from the crease of the hips. Find that length. Lengthen and tuck your chin in. And you can stay here. So toes are pointing up, spine is lengthened. If you have the flexibility to bring your hands in front without rounding the spine, go for it. And some of you might even be able to walk your hands forward and maybe lower onto the forearms. So I'm keeping the length in my low back, and then I can just round the upper back, keeping my feet nice and flexed, getting a nice stretch through the backs of the legs. And then slowly walk yourself back up. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together. Bound ankle pose, sitting tall, holding on maybe to the ankles or the toes. And you can stay upright or bow forward. And then you can loosen again into those hips. Maybe you've been sitting all day and this will be a nice little release. You could flutter your legs. This is called butterfly pose sometimes. We can flutter the butterflies, wings. And then we're just going to lengthen up, sitting in a nice comfortable position, spine tall, maybe resting your hands onto your knees, maybe bringing thumb and index finger together. Spine is tall. We'll close our eyes and just take a few breaths where all we're doing is focusing on that breath. Watch the inhale come through the nostrils. Watch the exhale come back out the nostrils. And that's our yoga bite for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Namaste.